The most dangerous ocean crossing in the world is from South America to Antarctica. 600 miles of the most treacherous and unpredictable waters on the planet. Drake Passage. Right now, 6 elite athletes are attempting to survive Arctic cold temperatures, windstorms, and 40-foot swells in a rowboat.
Okay.
There was a tragic incident about 4 or 5 days ago where a Chilean military plane actually took off from Punta Arenas, and it was last seen on the radar in the middle of Drake Passage. It thought that all 38 people on board have died.
Disaster in the skies off Chile after a military transport plane disappeared overnight.
The Chilean Air Force says that one of its cargo planes has crashed with 38 people on board.
The plane left Punta Arenas, Chile, just before 5 p.m. Monday when it disappeared over a violent stretch of ocean called the Drake Passage.
So sad to hear about 38 people who lost their lives and their families and their friends, and so my condolences certainly go out to all of them. And now all of the boats in the area are doing a grid formation as well as planes flying over for the search and rescue.
They found some debris, they found a few of the crew members, but the search and rescue is underway. So due to that and the kind of chaos that's happening in the area, our expedition is being a bit more scrutinized.
Howdy, guys. Yeah. Oh. We seem to be the most insignificant problem that Chile has at the moment, okay? We're not part of it, and they don't want us to be part of it.
We got boarded by the Chilean Navy. They asked us to reroute our position to Puerto Williams, where we currently are.
Chilean Coast Guards are, at the moment, extremely tense. The criteria of safety are elevated.
The crew here on Braveheart have been incredibly supportive and doing everything they can to work in concert with the Chilean authorities to hopefully grant us the passage that we had already applied for and already have the full permitting to do.
They've inspected our boat, they've inspected your boat, so we've met all the requirements. What we haven't managed to massage is to satisfy the Chilean search and rescue people that we are not going to add to their troubles.
We're sitting in Puerto Williams, uncertain about when we can leave. And obviously it doesn't look like the safest operation because we're about to put a rowboat into some of the roughest waters in the world.
You guys are embarking on a dangerous crossing of the Drake Passage. And they're making a decision. 4:30, 5 o'clock, we'll know what's happening.
Drake Passage is a waterway that does get crossed by a number of large boats every single year. There's a pretty noteworthy crossing that happened in 1988 by a guy named Ned Gillette. He did a hybrid row sail down through the Drake Passage, and he actually stopped on the outer islands. And so what we're gonna do is completely row. We have no ability to harness the wind, but also we're going all the way to the actual continent of Antarctica, as I call it, standing on the shoulders of giants. Each explorer is pushing it a little bit further than what's ever happened before.
Honestly, how bad the Drake can get, I hope I will never, ever have to see that.
Those storms, they just swoop through the Drake Passage.
So the Drake has a well-deserved reputation for violent currents and major storms.
That ocean is not a joke. You know, you need to be very careful.
It earned its reputation as a place that has no mercy. I can't think of why anybody would want to cross the Drake Passage for fun.
So the Drake Passage is the body of water that lies between South America and the Antarctic Peninsula.
You have all the right conditions for a very rapid change in ocean conditions. You've got the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans coming together in this opening. So storms that come in are sort of funneled down into this very vulnerable area.
You know, it's sort of like closing down a space from a very wide 2-lane highway to a narrow 1-lane road.
And because of that choke point, there's simply a lot of energy being focused.
It's one of the strongest current in the world. And so that pushes you where you sometimes don't want to go to. You have a very large chance to encounter storms there. Massive storms that have an incredible energy and incredible strength, and the winds there are really, really strong. You can have waves that are dramatically high. We have recorded with the radar wave of heights of about 60 feet.
The boat will be rolling, pitching, so sleeping is going to be difficult.
Being continuously wet, and not being able to get dried out and to have your energy sapped from you because, the water and the cold just drains it from you. You really recognize that it's a place that humans really aren't supposed to be. Once you get past that, it's a magical place. You're going to see wandering albatrosses that have a wingspan that's 11 or 12 feet. Cape petrels that look like they've got Jackson Pollock paint splattered on their backs. And you're going to see some hourglass dolphins, which are magical little black and white dolphins. I can recall the best day of my life in the Drake. Myself and a colleague were up on the bridge looking for marine mammals. And in about a 2-hour period, we counted, I think, 25 beaked whales. Frankly, most people have never seen them, and we could just see them all over the place, and it was just magical. I've never had anything close to that. Everywhere we looked, there was life, and it was life that we just don't regularly get to see. To me, the Drake Passage represents kind of that rite of passage that you have to go through to be able to get to a place like the Antarctic. You need to suffer.
It's been a tense 24 hours with the Chilean Navy boarding our ship. Understandable given the tragedy that happened with the plane crash in Drake. And so they're wondering if a risky expedition should really take off given the recent tragedy.
Okay, so we're allowed to go.
Great.
Awesome.
They've decided to give us the green light to proceed to Cape Horn to begin the expedition. The second the crane can drop us off from Braveheart at Cape Horn tomorrow morning, it's go time.
Follow the expedition in real time on Discovery.